You need more than one person to do the mannequin challenge. On today's broadcast, Wells Fargo announces a partnership with SigFig. Cetera's computer systems suffer a 2-day outage, lessons from a hack at Lincoln Financial, and more. So get ready, FPPad Bits and Bytes begins now. Hey everyone, I'm Bill Winterberg, and thank you for joining me for this week's Advisor Technology News broadcast. Today's episode is brought to you by eMoney Advisor, the leading provider of digital wealth management solutions. eMoney just introduced 2 new advanced analytics products. Advisor Analytics Pro, offering advisors and support staff deeper business insights, and Office Analytics, offering never-before-seen firm-wide insights. Featuring a customizable analytics dashboard, an expansive library of new and interactive data charts, and more, eMoney's advanced analytics solutions will help you put your data to work and uncover more opportunities. For more information on the eMoney Analytics solutions, visit fpPad.com/eMoneyAnalytics. First up this week is news from Wells Fargo, as the bank, which finds itself in the middle of a very public firestorm over opening unauthorized accounts, announced this week that it is partnering with SigFig to release an automated investment service to customers of Wells Fargo advisors sometime in the first half of 2017. Other than the potential release date, there really wasn't any concrete information on pricing or the types of investments to be used in the service. Will they be Wells Fargo's mutual funds or third-party ETFs? As of today, Wells Fargo doesn't offer its own ETFs, but earlier this year, the company filed an exemptive relief request with the SEC, signaling some intent to enter the ETF space. But that opens the door for potential problems with the Department of Labor fiduciary rule, highlighted by industry nerd-in-chief Michael Kitces, where automated investment services that recommend investments in proprietary products, Kitces calls out Schwab Intelligent Portfolios and BlackRock's Future Advisor, do not qualify under the level fee fiduciary exemption because of the variable compensation inherent in an allocation of proprietary ETFs. So this is all industry stuff and not all that applicable to your business, but here's my point. All the big banks, all the incumbent financial institutions are boarding the automated investment bandwagon. Sooner rather than later, your clients and prospects are going to get solicited by the very institutions they use today. And clients are expecting an experience like Uber, but you're still driving around in a dirty taxi that has to be flagged down with my hand in the air that doesn't have a functional credit card machine. If you're interested in the limited details of the Wells Fargo SigFig partnership or to read Kitces' blog post, head over to fppad.com/198 for the links to this week's top stories. Next up is news about Cetera Financial Group, as the independent broker-dealer encountered a company-wide systems outage that affected 9,000 brokers as well as the company's back office and operations teams. According to an Advisor Hub article, the outage started on Monday, and one broker with First Allied reported that he could not sign in to view emails, access performance reports, or even call Cetera using their standard phone number. Cell phone numbers were eventually sent out on Monday evening. In a firm-wide conference call on Tuesday afternoon, Cetera Chief Executive Robert Moore apologized for the disruption and said systems had been fully restored, and added that no data had been compromised through hacking or any other unauthorized access. So let this be a reminder that if it's been a while since you tested your business continuity plan, next week's Thanksgiving break might be a good time to do so. It doesn't really matter if you manage your own systems or leverage the resources of a broker-dealer. You need to verify how you can perform the essential parts of your business in the event of a disruption. Attackers are launching denial-of-service attacks every day against financial institutions, so it's important that you know exactly what you need to do when the systems you depend on aren't available. And speaking of attackers, my last story this week is about Lincoln Financial Securities, an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Group, as the company paid a $650,000 fine imposed by FINRA for failing to safeguard customer data stored on a cloud server used by one of its OSJs. Sometime in 2012, hackers were able to access the cloud server configured by a third-party vendor and obtain records on approximately 5,400 customers. The FINRA letter of acceptance doesn't say how the server was compromised and didn't identify what kind of server was in use. Was it an FTP server, a service like Dropbox, a proprietary server with remote access, or something else? But more troubling to me is that FINRA goes on to say that the firm failed to take adequate steps to monitor or audit the vendor's performance. Now hold on. One benefit of leveraging third-party vendors is that they bring expertise to the table that the firm doesn't have, like, cybersecurity expertise. But for FINRA to say that the firm failed to test and verify the security of the cloud servers, that just doesn't seem right. The firm doesn't have the expertise in cloud server security, which is why the firm hired the third-party vendor in the first place. But now FINRA says that the firm is the one that has to verify the security of the third-party vendor that it hired to bring in security expertise to the firm? How is that even possible? What I do know is FINRA just levied a heavy fine on a firm because of their third-party vendor had a hole in their security that was exploited by hackers. And in my opinion, that's a troubling precedent that has been set. To see the full letter of acceptance and to see other stories that didn't make this week's broadcast, head over to fppad.com/198 for the links to this week's top stories. Remember, Bits and Bytes exists because of the support of our sponsors. So be sure to check out eMoney's new advanced analytics solutions. Learn how you can turn your data into decisions today by visiting fppad.com/emoneyanalytics. So what do you think about FINRA's fine for a security breach? Is it fair or is it a dangerous precedent? Let me know by sending me a tweet using @BillWinterberg or leave a comment on the FPPad YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bill Winterberg. See you next time. Featuring a customizable analytics dashboard, an expensive library, not expensive, expansive. Cetera's computer systems, somebody wrote that wrong. That's a lot of information to get through.